For my synthesis project, I chose to do a compare and contrast of the short story The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant and The Frog Prince by the Brothers Grimm, utilizing animation. In The Necklace, the main character, Mathilde Loisel, is the wife of a clerk in the Ministry of Public Instruction. She is naive and has delusions of grandeur. When her husband invites her to a party of his colleagues, thinking she would be pleased, she flies into a rage. She has no dress or means to buy one, and she is loath to be seen as poor. Her husband buys her a dress, but it's not enough. She has no jewelry to adorn herself, and is once more morose. Luckily, her husband thinks to borrow some from her friend Madame Forestier. She borrows a single strand of the most beautiful diamonds and goes to the ball. She is bathed in attention and praise of the partygoers, and was tentative with leaving. Unfortunately, when she returns home, she finds that she has lost her necklace. They scheme to replace the necklace so not to offend Madame Forestier. They go 40,000 francs into debt buying a replacement. It takes them 10 years to pay back their loans. When she runs into Madame Forestier 10 years later, barely recognizable as the beautiful woman she once was, she finds out that the necklace was fake, worth 400 francs at most. All that money spent for no reason. In The Frog Prince, by the Brothers Grimm, a princess is playing by a well with her golden ball. The princess accidentally drops the ball down the well and is stricken with grief. A frog appears in the well and asks her what's wrong. After the princess agrees to allow the frog to be her companion, the right to eat, drink, and sleep with her, the frog retrieves the ball from the well. The princess runs away without the frog, never intending to go through with her promises. During dinner, the frog appears. Her father, the king, orders her to follow through on her promises. So she does as she said and dines with the frog. Later, when together in bed, the princess can no longer stand it and throws the frog against the wall. The frog, however, turns into a beautiful prince. The king declares that he will be her bridegroom, and they are set to be married. A happily ever after. The king and Mathilde's husband act as the rational and moral characters that figure out a way to right their wrongs, a conscience of sorts. They are striven to do the right thing, even though it also hurts them as well. In The Necklace, a shawl is used to represent Mathilde's poverty as she's leaving the party. Mathilde wants to rush home so no one will see it. The princess does the same thing when she runs away, and then later ignores the frog when he appears at her door. Both the frog and the shawl represent the things both protagonists loathe the most, the internal antagonists of the story. The theme for both stories is similar, but different. Take responsibility for your actions. In The Necklace, taking responsibility for her actions would have lessened the grief they were subjected to. But alas, she doesn't, and must pay the consequences of her decision to listen to her husband. In The Frog Prince, taking responsibility of her actions, not only got her a husband, but a future with a dashing prince. All of her dreams come true. The ball and the necklace are also both symbols. The ball represents the status and dignity of the princess, while the necklace represents Mathilde's delusions of wealth, beauty, and a better life. The conflict of both stories is person versus unknown, luck, odds, powers that be, that kind of thing. Losing something precious, and the physical and mental repercussions following that mistake. Both stories are told in third-person limited omniscient. He, she, it, they. The narrator knows only what happens to the characters and is not an all-seeing god. Both stories are set in the past. The necklace is placed somewhere in the 18 and 1900s France, while The Frog Prince is set somewhere in the Middle Ages, or medieval ages, with castles and kings and princesses. The tone of The Necklace is quite somber and dark. It is not a happy story, and it does not have a happy ending. The Frog Prince has a much lighter and happier tone. The author writes it in such a way that it kind of feels like you're reading a comedy. There is foreshadowing in The Frog Prince when the princess loses her ball. Remember, her status and dignity is what the ball stands for. She will lose her dignity when she is the frog's companion, and the frog will return it to her when he becomes a handsome prince. There is also foreshadowing in The Necklace. On page 2, after Mathilde starts to come home from the ball, the quote is, "It was all ended for her," which is true. It will be the last time she is young and pretty and happy, like this, due to the impending life of debt and hard work that will wring the youth from her body, aging her quickly.